Communication guidelines to ensure are in your custody agreement or order. Number one, make sure that any custody agreement or court order has a specific platform upon which you communicate. By that I mean an application that you can either pay for or that's free that both parties use that centrally houses all communication between the parties. That way you're not having to go back between text message and email and social media message and Facebook Messenger. All of your messages about your child can be in one place. And that's an actually really great thing to use if you need to get back into court and use those messages as evidence. Number two, make sure that there is a specific time frame within which responses must be given. And then what happens if your co-parent doesn't respond? If I bring an issue to the table and you have 24 hours to respond and you don't, well then do I get to make my own decision about what's going to happen? If your order doesn't say that, it should and it needs to. You also want to have a mechanism put in place for how a decision gets made. If I bring an issue to the table, you have 24 hours to respond and you do, what do I get to do then? Do I have to respond again? How many times do I have to respond? At what point does a decision get made? All of those specifics may seem like overkill. They absolutely are not and will absolutely get you the best communication method that you can have. You also have to include provisions about how you're going to talk to each other, that you're going to be polite, you're going to be cordial, you're not going to use curse words, you're not going to call each other names, and you're not going to do that because if you have to use the messages, you want to be able to use them. You don't want to be calling the other person bad names and then not be able to use that evidence. So having those parameters and those guidelines in place will make sure that you can not only get the most out of your communication, but also so that you can use those communications if you have to. And then finally, I always like to add sort of a backup plan. If we do all of these things and we still can't agree, who makes decisions? Rely upon a professional. That's always a good backup to your backup plan to make sure that the best decisions get made for your kids in the best way possible.